Does the food that you feed your pets affect their behaviour? Yes, it can do. I'm not saying that if you change their diet, it's going to fix all of your pet's behavioural issues, but if you implement these 3 things that I'm going to show you now, you may see some significant change in your dog or your cat's behaviour. So number 1, if you are feeding your pet a commercial diet, so whether that's a kibble or a wet food, you can guarantee it's going to be quite heavily processed and have additives and preservatives, a high carb content. The same rule applies for kind of when we feed our children. If you're feeding a diet that is high in processed foods and additives and colours and preservatives, etc., their behaviour is going to reflect that. When you switch the diet from a commercial diet to a fresh food diet, you usually will see significant behaviour changes when those additives and preservatives get cut. Number 2 is gut health. So there's a ton of information out there if you want to research the link between good gut health and the brain, so behaviour. A dog with good gut health will be releasing dopamine and serotonin, which helps with focus, impulse control, their mood, their emotional regulation. If your pet has poor gut health, then they will be releasing endotoxins, which means that your pet will struggle to focus. They could have increased nervousness, like severe hyperactivity, that kind of overreactive behavior, overstimulation, that sort of thing. So making sure that your pet has good gut health is also paramount for their behavior. So a diverse microbiome is one of the best things you can do for your pet's gut. So that's achieved by rotation of fresh food ingredients, so a rotation of nutrients. Also, if your pet has poor gut health, I would go for a probiotic and a digestive enzyme. And thirdly, feeding cooling foods. So if you have a pet that is hyperactive, overstimulated, doesn't focus, just has like a lot of pent up energy, if you feed that pet a diet consisting of cooling foods, you may notice quite a big difference. So if you go further down my profile, I'm sure I did a video a while ago on traditional Chinese food energetics, and I've done examples of heating, cooling, and neutral foods that you can feed your pets. So for example, lamb is a very heating food. If I feed one of my dogs lamb, so she's already quite hyperactive and has a lot of pent up energy, if she gets fed lamb and other heating foods, you can really see that in her behavior. So she does better when she is fed cooling foods, so things like turkey, roux, and plant matter that is cooling as well, so things like celery and apple. So if you implement these 3 things into your pet's life, so ditching any kind of processed foods and feeding a balanced fresh food diet, making sure that their gut health is good, and if need be, trying to feed them cooling foods. I'm not saying that doing these 3 things is going to solve all of your pet's behavioural issues, but it is a really good start.